strange that you let so many players leave.
Welcome everybody to Overwatch International Community Cup 6. It is I, Toasty, going to be joined here by Shine to bring you the Week 1 game. This is Amatsogang versus Hell March 3, the Netherlands versus Russia. It's going to be a good game here, Shine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're coming into a new addition to this tournament. We have two completely new teams, or almost completely new teams. From what I've heard, we have some returning players from the Dutch team, but the Russian team completely new. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how these two teams are coming in.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, these teams have played in previous editions of this tournament. But as far as I'm aware, the Russian team is completely new. And of course, the team representing the Netherlands as well. They've had a good few changes. Of course, they specifically have placed very consistently the past few editions. You've had, uh, top 8 placements, top 12 placements, that kind of thing. So Amatsogang here looking all right. And we don't know much about Russia again because well, Russia, Hellmarch 3, same team. Because they, again, they swapped their roster out, but they have placed pretty highly in previous seasons as well.
And you got to expect that these players at least have talked to the previous roster. Maybe they've gotten a little bit of coaching from them. We don't really know that. But yeah, as you said, I do believe they won the last grand finals, actually. So the previous Russia team. But as you said, it's a completely new team. And so they might dominate again, or they might not. So yeah, completely new edition, completely new game, mostly completely new teams. And so this is really all about showing what you've got in these first couple of games.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see what we'll see coming into this, as we are going to look at the map pool for this game. We're starting off here on Busan, which is an interesting map because it's a map that I don't think many teams tend towards.
Yeah, we'll have to see what submap we will actually be starting on. There's a lot of brawl that can be played here, but yeah, as I said, like it's all going to come down to what map or what submap we'll be starting on. Maybe we'll see a couple of widows as well, or maybe we'll see this ever so dominant Pharah as well that we've seen all throughout some different tournaments as well, and maybe in this edition here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see. I think if honestly, if we start off on either Sanctuary or Downtown, that will set the pace for this entire series on Busan because those two maps, one they kind of show you what composition the enemy teams are going to tend towards, but also I think they're the most balanced maps out of them. Mecha base can become really snowbally, especially defender sided. So we are starting off here on Sanctuary.
Yeah, and as you said, we are going to see what these teams are going to feel comfortable playing, whether they stick with a comfort pick or whether they stay on a composition that they've practiced, which I would assume that at least for the first map they're sticking to what they've practiced. This map pool has been preset, so both teams knew what map pool they were getting themselves into. So you would assume that they have really played and well practiced some different compositions, maybe some different looks, some additions, some swaps coming in throughout the last couple of days or weeks maybe. And yeah, I mean it's 20 seconds now until the spawn doors open, and we can get a look at the first finalized compositions. If we actually see Excel here with the Bastion, don't think that they will
No
actually stay
way.
on that, but it will be quite interesting to see a little bit of a troll pick maybe in that composition. But no, they actually will make the swap over.
Yeah, and this is a very, very interesting composition from Hellmarch 3. We've got Excel on the Junkrat, and the rest of the team is playing your standard kind of hyper dive setup. And we'll see the same thing here from Amatsogang, difference being they're playing the Roadhog and the Soldier. This is going to be a wacky game, I can already tell, but early on, Amatsogang looking to probably CC out this ball, and there's the bash from the break, forces them away. Beatrice going down low as well elsewhere, so Zenyatta helping out with the discourse to deal the damage. It will be down to which ball gets the better engage off here, as it's just poking away at the point, I believe, for Amatsogang looking to cap it up. That will be contested by Mirka. This gives Amatsogang the opportunity to go in, though. They can start approaching. Oh, Noragami barely dodges that hook. An Extreme Gamer goes down, so I think this will be Hellmarch 3 coming out on top in the first engagement.
Yeah, your main tank goes down. I was about to say you do have the additional pick potential off that Roadhog that can just snatch up one of your opponent's players, one of Russia's players, and just immediately dominate that. But you do have that defense metrics, that additional staying power, and additional diving power to some extent as well with the Diva. And you pick up one player here that actually used to be, or was the main tank, and that's the fight one for them.
Yeah, and again, Protator gonna go down first. Mirka traded out, so the Wrecking Ball is gone here for Hellmarch 3. They've got to be careful not to let their Tracer die in that situation, but Nabel and Chuchu both going down pretty much simultaneously. A little bit too aggressive. There was no engage to be set up there by Extreme Gamer, and because of that, that'll be another team fight to Hellmarch 3.
I'm quite interested to see how you actually use that Junkrat ultimate, the Taya. It is coming up. You also have the Pulse Bomb coming up as well from the Tracers. Well, actually from both Tracers almost. But this seems to be a never-ending fight, just with picks coming back and forth from both teams here.
Yeah, but the Soldier's gone here for Amatsogang again, so it's not looking too good for them, but at least they get the kill off on Noragami. There's a Pulse Bomb. Chuchu lands it onto Mirka, ending that. Oh my, whoa, Excel with a 3k tire. Goodness me. That is just a, well, that ends the team fight pretty much immediately.
Yeah, he does die for it, but he's already gotten 3 picks immediately with that tire, so yeah, that's an immediate team fight win. We do have a lot of ultimates here from the Netherlands, though.
Yeah, exactly, and we are going to be looking at a replay here as well of that tire, I believe, that came through, if you didn't catch it. Pretty big play, and there's actually, yeah, so it comes up there, you can see it, and catches 3, so that pretty much ended that team fight instantly. We are going back into the game and looking at a Transcendence being popped by Protator. This will be... Actually, it clears off the mines pretty well, but instead it's going to be them falling anyway. Couldn't quite extend it for the full Transcendence, as now Hellmarch 3 looking to take the team fight. There's pretty much no one to clutch this other than a Mega Chew. They force everyone away from the point, but it's not enough to give the Brig the opportunity to get kills, right? I mean, what's a Brig going to do 1v6 like this? They do have the rally, they do stay alive for a little bit longer, but it's not quite enough. They boop the Wrecking Ball off of the points. That's the first round going to Hellmarch 3.
Yeah, that was a very dominant performance. 100-0. Of course, it is just one sub map, and we've seen worse situations for some teams here. A couple of fights going back and forth, but some individual plays, I believe, especially from the Junkrat, the Taya. We all know how devastating it can be if you're not really looking at it. And actually, people, I do believe, were looking at it, because Excel fell immediately once he actually dropped the tire in, but nobody took care of the tire quickly enough. I mean, I do believe the tire got exploded very quickly anyway, but yeah, it's got 3.
Yeah, exactly. And XL again going to be on the Junkrat here. The difference is we're seeing a rush composition. I'm not looking at the DPS line here as much, because I think Mei wins it out, but I'm looking at the Zarya versus D.Va matchup, because Beatrice is going to get beamed down pretty easily, but Extreme Gamer needs to be careful of that Matrix. It's a very dynamic matchup we're looking at. Big anti early on onto Mirka, though, means they have to go back. It looks like Apt is going to try and punch people away on this Doomfist. They actually get a couple people onto the low ground, but Excel being forced away. Let's get taken down by Extreme Gamer, but I still think that Hellmarch 3 are going to come out on top in this team fight, despite that anti-nade. They've gotten 4 kills now, and yeah, they get that first cap.
Yeah, a little bit of a stagger on the Zarya as well at the end. And with the Zarya, you don't just lose the Zarya, but you also lose all of the charge on the Zarya, right? So she immediately becomes a lot less threatening, because she doesn't really have that amount of charge. We actually see a swap coming in onto the Cassidy here to become a little bit more brawly still, to try to deal with the composition here coming out of Russia.
Yeah, and they rotate around. It looks like Amatsogang want to play aggressive now. They have a couple people out of position. I believe that Lucio almost got taken down, but instead it's Nabel to fall. Excel with that Junkrat spam. You can't do anything against this if you are Amatsogang. And Hellmarch 3, again, just utilizing their composition just in a better way. They coalescence early, they deal with Junkrat damage, and there's nothing that can be done.
Yeah, the coalescence was so big. There was really no pushing into it, and as you said, a lot of damage coming out of Junkrat. And he's just sneaking around here looking for the perfect tire, as I do believe Extreme Gamer now is looking for the graph, but here it comes.
Big? Oh, that's massive coming through, and again, that's what happens when you don't check your corners.
Yeah.
The one thing Overwatch players can take away from Valorant players is that piece of advice there, check your corners. And there's a replay as well coming through from that tire. We'll see that again. And they were just hiding around the corner for again, this is just, again, not checking that little area there. But as that's happening, as our replay finishes, the team fight has actually been won by Hellmarch 3. So Yeah, nothing to say about that.
That is just a one team fight after another, yeah. And now you're getting into a very difficult situation. I mean, it's last fight already. I mean, I feel like this map has barely started and we're already at last fight territory. But we're at 90% pretty much here. So the Dutch now, they need to touch, and yeah, they actually do get the touch with a ball, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be very difficult.
And no one is able to really get into position with that Blizzard. Instead, it's going to be Beatrice with the bomb taking down Choo Choo, and Apt getting a lot of damage in with that Doomfist as well. Tyre comes through from XL, catches a Mega Chew, and I mean, this Junkrat has just been wreaking havoc the entire game. You'll see the Lucio and the Bull be able to stall here. The cast comes through for big High Noon, actually 2 kills off of that, but again, I don't think it's quite enough here, because Hellmarch 3 still have that point presence. The ball can come back and keep on touching like this, but you're not going to have the point presence from pretty much anyone else on your team. They're just going to fall one by one.
Yeah, and there it is. I was just about to say, maybe if the ball can keep coming back in and in and in and in, maybe you can stall the point long enough for maybe somewhat of a complete team fight, but it's very, very difficult to do. We do see well, the Junkrat actually dominating that fight. I don't even think did we see a Grav at all come out, or did they
I
actually
don't think
switch?
so.
I don't think so, because the Grav was online, and I feel like when the Grav was about to come on, well, when it was about to be invested, they were looking for it. He just gets instantly Junkrat tired, and at that point you're so far into that round that you think, okay, now the graph is super nice, but we just need to touch and we just need to contest. So not only have you won that team fight, but it almost feels like you've won like 2 team fights, because the next team fight you don't need to deal with the graph anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Hellmarch 3, they really took it to them, to be honest. You can obviously mention like the ultimate usage and that kind of stuff, and how there's a lot of pop-off plays with Junkrat ties, but I think as well they were just playing a lot faster.
Yeah.
A lot of the time when the Amatsogang was trying to re-engage, one, they'd be kind of scattered around, so it was easy to just pick off single targets, but as well, Hellmarch 3, they just walked in as a unit on Mecha base, right? A lot of times, Masco would be stuck at the choke, couldn't do anything against the Junkrat spam because the Diva wasn't able to eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, you have these strong coalescence engages from Hellmarch 3 as well. That allows you to just go so aggressive, doesn't matter what the enemy team does to you, because you've got the healing and the damage to output. It just seemed like, one, a compositional difference, which I never thought I'd be saying with a Junkrat Moira composition. But as well, it just seemed like a bit of a team diff as well, with kind of the pace they were playing.
Yeah, and as you said, when you're using your coalescence, you're staying together, so that you both have that healing for your team to go in. Then all of the, I guess, healing that you don't need, you can just convert into raw damage. They already have a lot of anyway with that Junkrat and with your other DPS, and also your tanks can just go in because they're not completely invincible, but they might as well be with that coalescence healing coming in. And then you just outright win with that. And as you said, I think a big part of that was that Hellmarch 3 just stuck together as a team.
Yeah, exactly. And I also want to say, Maskugang, see, on that first round of Sanctuary, I feel like they probably should have won. They had the better composition. As much as I didn't like the Roadhog as much from a Megachu, you know, it could have worked if they had, I think, again, just clustered a bit more together and engaged together. Sure, the Ball and the Tracer are off doing their own thing, but you're playing the Soldiers, playing the Roadhog. You can play as a core
Yeah.
and really push towards that point as a unit. But Amasco Kang didn't do that. They were all over the place. Hellmarch 3, you could tell they were able to just get like a Tracer pick off on the side, with like in the middle of like the pre-fight, right? You should not be getting kills like that when you're supposed to be ult tracking. Those two things don't add up. It's a lot of scattering around and kind of trickling in from Amatsogang that I think can be fixed. But hey, they have the next map of Dorado, which could be great for them to use to their advantage, especially because if you're starting off on the defense, you can start off on the position you want to be in.
Yeah, and I think we see this a lot. Um, all throughout all different kinds of like levels of tournaments and levels of play, where sometimes teams just don't fare very well on control maps and they dominate on a lot of the other, I guess, like types of maps. Could be their sorry, not control maps, but like hybrid maps or escort maps, stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Hellmarch 3 can keep up that momentum on the next map here. But if they can keep up this momentum, it's going to be really looking good.
Yeah, hopefully. But I mean, there's always opportunities for either of these teams to take Dorado. It's a much different map, I think, to Bisan from what we just saw.
For sure.
A lot of teams play like the monkey kind of stuff on Dorado because building up nano boosts is so easy, especially considering it's a very defender-heavy map. You're gonna be taking a lot of spam on the attack, so being able to just build up those nanos quickly, go for those hard win condition engages. That's what you're going to be looking at for I think either of these teams. You could also play Wrecking Ball. I'm not too keen on that though because there's just opportunities for the enemy team to play Brig, Cassidy, completely stun you up. There's nothing the ball can do there.
Yeah, I think the classic, as you said, is going to be Monkey Ana. Just have your monkey take a lot of damage without dying, obviously, because you don't want to lose your monkey early, but just build up that nano. That the earlier you have the nano, usually the team that has earlier nano just wins the next team fight because they can just either take the high ground or keep the high ground, dive the back line of your enemy team, and just win the team fight based off of that. It's a lot about high ground control, as you already said on Dorado.
Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of teams also probably wrongly like to play Arista Sigma on Dorado because they think, oh, shiny high ground, let me take that and hold it. But that gets hard broken open by like a good monkey tracer dive, right? Tracer gets in the back, assassinates the support, you get the monkey in there doing the cleave, prammeling everyone around. It's so hard to play an Arista Sigma against that I don't think we're going to see it. We do have Junkrat players on, the side of Hellmarch 3, so maybe they try and play something kind of defender-sided, like the Arista Sigma, or maybe like some Ryan composition, but I don't think it's too likely.
No, I don't think so. And I think the issue with playing that double shield composition, again, as you said, like you have that early high ground, you might as well try to bunker up there in some way or form. But if you have the tracer come in there, sure, you might have the bricks done. Maybe you actually play the Cassidy as well, although his long range damage isn't that fantastic. But you can put him up there if you want to. But like if you deal with the tracer, then the monkey dives you, or if you have the monkey go in first, then you deal maybe with the monkey, but then you have the tracer come in. So as much as people love to talk about the amount of CC, and there is a lot of CC in the game, but sometimes you just weirdly enough don't have enough CC to deal with a coordinated dive. And so far, Hellmarch 3, they've been looking really, really good when it comes to their team coordination. So you got to expect them to be able to pull off a clean dive as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we are going into game now Dorado. And obviously, I think this is so we'll have the Netherlands starting off on the defense of Russia on the offense. I'm interested to see if Russia actually keep on playing this Junkrat because on Dorado offense, it's going to be hard to make work. I can see it on defense, but I want to see if Excel sticks to it, if they're actually a Junkrat one trick, to heart and true, or if they are just they were just playing it for the memes.
I think the truth is somewhere in the middle of them, right? Where I think the Junkrat actually did work out for them, but as you said, especially on the attack to try to get to the high ground, I guess you can concussion yourself up onto the high ground and try to basically just it would be suicide to go up there by yourself. And it looks like they're actually going to play Farah. I don't think this is just like a troll pick, because I was just about to say it's another hero that shoots projectiles. Um, Down explosives basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's the sky Junkrat essentially. And so
Yeah.
I don't think I really thought about saying that today. Today we're talking about the sky rat, but yeah, I mean, Farah is a hero that I actually personally both love and hate. I love playing her, but I hate playing against Farah. I feel like that mirrors the opinion of a lot of Overwatch players. Um, but okay, Axel actually goes back to the Junkrat, so we'll
It is Choo
see
Choo
what
on
they'll
it
do with
though.
that. Yeah.
And an echo from Apt, so they aren't just a Doomfist one trick, we know that much. But yeah, I like this setup, apart from the Junkrat. Genuinely, if Excel played like a Tracer here, I would love this for Hellmarch 3. And immediately Excel just dies, right? The Junkrat's not going to get value in these team fights, either because they're dead, or because they're just not able to get on high grounds.
Yeah, we do have the Far Mercy basically on the Dutch team here. The Mercy, obviously, she can do a lot more than just pocket the Farah, but that's going to be her job. As the main tank goes down, though, to the Echo, an incredibly strong character, and the Junkrat actually gets a pick as well.
Yeah, Excel finally making this work, and to be fair, they're coming around the side looking for a flank onto the Torb. Oh my word. This is a thing. This is the assassination Junkrat I was talking about earlier. I know I didn't talk about it on stream, but this is what Team Russia was known for the past few editions of this tournament. And hey, it's happening here again. The assassination Junkrat.
Well, I think once the high ground is clear and you can get up there as a Junkrat and try to put some damage in, that's when it has a shot of working. And especially the Echo just finding a lot of value against the main tank, clearing the high ground. And then the Junkrat actually works. And 70% to another tire as another cleanup here comes through, that tire itself can potentially decide the next fight. We've seen that happen on the last map as well, although there is a lot more well, just a lot of empty, like free space, I guess, to kind of hide from the tire. But we'll have to see, and a lot less opportunity to hide from the Junkrat as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Choo Choo almost has this barrage coming up. They could come up big with that, to be honest. They clears pretty much everyone off the high ground when they use it. They have to stay away, though. The D.Va was pressuring them out just temporarily, and that's a problem with playing into a D.Va as well in this comp. However, that's going to be a barrage coming through into the Grav. Big plays coming through from Excel, though, potentially here, if they can get up to the Pharah. They climb all the way up there. And there's a mine onto the Ana as well. The flank Junkrat coming up big again, but unfortunately no kills gained off of it, just some disruption. Buys a little bit of extra payload progress, but not much.
A lot invested though from the Dutch, right? You have that Grav invested, which can be so devastating, and to maybe a lesser extent as well, the barrage. Oh, rest in peace. That was really sad to watch. I've been there though.
Yeah, I feel like Hell March 3 should not have won that by any means. They were disengaging, then they tranced, then they came back in, and there was just nothing done by Amatsogang to deal with it. So, interesting to say the least, but this Ana duplication can probably get some value towards the ladder off this team fight, get some extra stagger kills up in the spawn room, prevent him from touching. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, just building up that nano as well. I don't know if it was necessary, but you might as well just deter your opponents from even coming near your team, right? And just making sure that you actually capture point B. As the Echo does go down though, so a Torp, especially with a turret as well, can really deter any sort of like flying heroes or flankers. So far though, I feel like the Echo has still been finding a lot of work.
Yeah, the Echo's been doing pretty good, but now Apt goes over to the Doomfist instead, so back onto that lovely hero. They did do well with it on Mecha Base, so I'll give it to him, and again, Excel has high ground control, just spamming in the damage into pretty much every angle they have available to them, but that's that grab coming through from Extreme Gamer, pretty big. Nabel follows up on it well, and a very nice right click from Extreme Gamer as well, threading the needle through the railing to get that kill. Still, Amatsogang are trying to invest with the nano boost just to try and clean up this fight, because there were a couple players that went down on their side. I'm not sure if that investment was worth it, but I'll let you decide that.
Yeah, I was just about to question that as well. I mean, it was one of these defensive nanos on your monkey that you're just like, oh, he's gonna die, which can be fine for sure. But now you don't really have that to engage, which is what you typically want to do, just in general, I suppose. But especially with, well, nano monkey, right? You just have your nano your monkey. Monkey goes in, gets a lot of kills, maybe builds up his primal, and then gets out as well. But not available here.
Zone some people off there with a high noon, but I don't think it really matters much, as there's the bomb in the back from Beatrice, catches Extreme Gamer, the tire from Excel as well. It appears that this map's going to be an explosive finish for Hell March 3, as they're going to cap it up with pretty much 3 minutes on the clock. There will be some stall, obviously, to deny that, as you'll see the Mercy come in with the Valk, you'll see the ball come back. So, at least some opportunity to buy time off the clock, but not sure how much it's going to be, as Extreme Gamer gets hard CC'd on the Wrecking Ball, and the Winston can't touch. So yeah, just about 3 minutes on the clock for Hell March, and that's pretty good for Dorada's standards.
I mean, on a lot of these maps, just finishing the map is good. I feel like if you just finish with that much time left, 3 minutes, that's really respectable. And that's going to be really, really tough to mirror from the Dutch here. Coming in, of course, we'll have to see what they can do. You do have the attacker's benefit of being able to maybe even send a Sombra up just to see what your opponent has, go back, and then just switch to the counter composition. But I feel like a lot of the time, you just want to dive on this map. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of variations to what sort of dive you're going to run. But I think, as you said in the beginning, a lot of it comes down to just nanoing your monkey up and trying to take that high ground. As we see, Excel sticking to the Junkrat again, this time with a Widow, though.
Yeah, so Apt apparently isn't just a projectile player, and they can actually play hit scan, apparently. That is if they stick on this.
Yeah.
I don't know if they will, because they did kind of default back to... Okay, no, they are sticking on it, it appears. They did default back to the Doomfist towards the latter half of that last round, which I think was alright. They were getting kills in the backline with it at the start of fights, and pretty much setting those up. So you'll love to see it, but I want to see how they do in the Widowmaker as well.
Yeah. I think the Widow can get a lot done, especially against the Echo that they're sending out. Not like they really know that there's gonna be an Echo, but I think by this point they know.
Ooh, nice shots coming through from Apt.
Even better than the Echo, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, and it was kind of Mac's fault for, you know, super jumping into a Widowmaker's line of sight, but listen, not all Mercy players are created equal. An Extreme Gamer does go down as well to Agent X, so all the sharpshooters of Russia are kind of popping off right now.
Yeah, the Junkrat goes down, but I feel like at this point, it's just been a Widow diff at this point. But, okay, maybe you didn't expect the Widow as well, now you do. You just gotta dive the Widow, I think, at this point.
Yep, power drive into the back here from Merca, but they don't actually catch anyone with that. They were a bit too telegraphed, I would say. It's Choo-Choo on the low ground. Needs to try and get a pick off onto Apt. Apt, though, does jump away, trying to keep themselves alive. They use the sights as well. That gives the opportunities for Beatrice to come up and kill Choo-Choo, has all that information. Despite that, though, 2 kills in retaliation, and Amatsogang do nano boost a Mega Chew. They can probably go aggressive with these boosters and try and get a kill onto the Zen, but what a sleep coming through from Protator. Realizing they were coming up, there should be a nice volley into a Mega Chew, and the Anti-Nade as well. That's a straight-up kill. And yeah, this should be Hellmarch stabilizing. There's no way that Amatsogang can get into position here to do anything.
I do wonder if a Mega Chew actually was calling out for the Nano, because it looked like they were disengaging, and then they got nanoed and tried to go back in. And there was a little bit of just disarray, maybe, between the tanks and the supports. And it's another teamfight win for Hellmarch 3 as well. I feel like they're just playing a lot better as a team, as you said, in the break.
2 more kills for Apt. Oh my word. And they're trying to duel out the enemy Widowmaker. Who's going to win this one? Apparently the Diva. As they just come in and try and steal the kill. Apt does get away safely low. I say, as a Mega Chew just hunts him down. Out for blood here. And yeah, that Discord allows the kill to come through. A Mega Chew now can probably go aggressive with Extreme Gamer as soon as they're healed back up. The sights are popped by Nabel, but pumping those bullets into a Diva just feeds whole charge over to the enemy Ana, I would say. There's a Mega Chew down at the low ground. That bomb comes through actually from Beatrice. That comes up big. Catches Mag, catches Nabel. DMX the enemy Diva as well. Big impact plays coming through from Beatrice. And in all reality, a minute 20 on the clock, that's basically 2 teamfights remaining. I mean, it doesn't look like Hellmarch are letting up anytime soon.
I don't really know how I feel about that visor as well. I think investing the visor was fine, but he invested it from low ground, below the bridge, just staring into the main choke. I feel like just taking an off angle maybe would have been a better situation there, and you do have that tire coming in from Excel as well. However, you do lose the Widow, so this could be winnable.
Yeah, it was a lovely volley, I think, from the Zenyatta as well to just dink up the Widowmaker, and now the bomb into the back for a Mega Chew. Doesn't really catch too much there, but Choo-Choo still goes down. And this could actually be a turnaround, I think, for Hellmarch as they get a tire onto Protator. There's the healing gun. They get a second one to Nabel as well, looking to assassinate the Zenyatta in the back. They somehow catch a stray mine onto them. Excel is just popping right now.
Okay, I feel like this is one of the situations where you just complain about Junkrat takes no skill, where you just land a random mine onto the Zenyatta there. Okay, they're throwing in the nano onto the ball though, so it's a ball one. Well, not a 1v1. Eventually, just they retreat there. No real reason to contest at this point.
Choo-Choo with a duel into the backline into the Diva, but has to bolt it as soon as they realize the remet comes up. That was comical to say the least.
Yeah.
His Extreme Gamer actually being pressured out, gets a nano boost onto them, so these Anas love nanoing their main tanks at interesting times, but Excel does come through with 2 kills. They are going to try and turn this around. Amatsogang have the point presence with Extreme Gamer, but they get dinked up by Apt. What a play coming through, and it should be Amatsogang being able to at least pressure the payload a little bit. Apt, though, marks the enemy tracer, tries to kill them off as there's that bomb coming through from Beatrice to try and re-engage onto the cart. Choo-Choo can try and pressure them out here on the tracer, however, and yeah, Beatrice just sacrificing their life to buy some time. That does give time for Agent X to get back. Do they trance this? I didn't think they do, as they let their Diva die off. And Choo-Choo's in the backline there with the assassination onto the Widowmaker. Ana and Widow gone. That's pretty much a team fight win for Amatsogang.
Yeah, it is overtime though, and you did spend a lot of ultimates in there. Oh no, there's the trap. Is this even a recontest at this point? Maybe.
I don't think they win this. There's no way they win this with just Excel, right? There's no way. Yeah, they get killed off by Megachu. Okay.
Doesn't invest the tire as well. I feel like maybe they would have just to like really show. Okay, I'm just gonna tie everybody as I usually do, but it was a smart investment not to throw the tire in, because he now still has it, and there's a lot of ultimates now coming up for the Russians.
Cross map anti from Noragami. Showboat, why don't you? Bit interesting to say the least. As Maker comes around the side, pile drives the enemy wrecking ball. The Tekka's coming through. What is this match, Shine? I'm telling you, this is inspirational gameplay. As Apt comes down, tries to duel the Tracer, can't get too much off with that. Instead, they're going to opt for the Mercy. Lining up the shots, manages to get it through, looking for the Zen as well, but they are cognizant of the positioning, and a Megachu comes up to contest them, chasing them down. As this is a flank Junkrat again coming through, trying to take down the Zen and the Torb, sorry, as the ball comes through with the kills anyway, says, you know what, I can do it better. And yeah, that'll be teamfight win going over to Hellmarch. They stabilized. And with 1 minute 30 on the clock, 2 more teamfights to go, and Amatsogang really need to win this next one, I think.
But it looks like they have been finding a lot of pickups now. They might actually win this next teamfight here. So, and they do have a lot of ultimates as well. I feel like it was just the Diva just really chasing down some of the correct targets, just really good target priority. But OWICC is just looking for the tire. It's probably just like, I can just tell you the team comes where are they? I got the tire, guys. Where are they? They have a lot of ultimates, actually. A lot of explosives, the mines as well. The Genji very low though, but a lot of their members just waiting for the correct time to engage with ultimates. And the first one there is going to be the mines, and they actually find a lot of value here. Just finding that one pickup. Oh, okay. It just rolls into the mines.
Casually, you know. I remember when Wrecking Ball used to be able to actually do that. I remember you could actually destroy the mines, but can't anymore, unfortunately, as that'll be another teamfight when going to Hellmarch. They stabilize. And they didn't really have to use much for it either, just the mines.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he did destroy the mines, just with his own body. That also got destroyed in the progress. Still, yeah, as you said, one ultimate, you do have the Nano, you have double support ult actually, although you do have that from both sides. But I feel like Nano, a lot better than Valkyrie. Valkyrie can be really good, but I feel like if you want to either have that or Nano, you really always want
That's an interesting Nano flank tire that came through. They have a lot of trust in XL, clearly, as that Transcendence from Agent X should be able to just clinch this team fight for them. XL coming through with the extra damage onto the cart. Gonna throw down a trap as well. I bet you the ball's going to roll into that at some point. But instead, Beatrice comes through for 2k bombs, so you love to see it. Megashu and Matkaz go down. Those were two of, I think, the important members to kill off as well in this stall fight. It will be the mines, I believe that was from Extreme Gamer that came through. And actually, that's pretty big. Choo-Choo comes through with 2, Extreme with 2 as well. So somehow they've turned this around against all odds. Hellmarch decided, you know what, let's pity them. Let's walk into the mines a little bit. And yeah, they give away that team fight. Oh my word.
Maybe they were really thinking about just the viewers watching this. Like, okay, maybe if we make it too easy, just the match is going to be over too early. But I think you also got to give a lot of credit here for really coming in, investing the right ultimates, and just picking up individual targets. I do wonder what this Genji is going to do. I mean, you feel like maybe he's nothing now, but I feel like once he has this blade, do you just nano blade, or do you want to continue nanoing your main tanks?
I don't know whether this is just me, but I've never been a fan of nanoing your Wrecking Ball. You do get a lot of damage with a pile drive, but that's all you can do, really, and I think the Genji would be the better target to go for.
Yeah. I mean, you can nano your Diva, a lot of diving potential, a lot of potential damage survivability, but also not a very traditional nano target for sure.
The mines from Merca come through as Apt looking for a cheeky, I'm not sure what they're trying to go for there, I'm not going to lie. I'm not big brain enough to realize. Excel flanking again, looking to try and assassinate someone, but
no.
they send themselves off of the map into the drink. Omegachu taking credit for that kill, but we all know it wasn't you. Oh, and Agent X does come through with a kill onto Extreme Gamer as well, so maybe an opportunity to re-engage for Hellmarch as they get that power drive through. Here's the blade we were talking about. Apt looking for targets. They don't quite know where anyone is at that current moment in time, and a bit of a zoning blade, we'll call that, as Noragami pulse bombed in the back line. And I think now with the Transcendence, there should be a Amatsogang for the ability to win this fight. That'll be the bomber as well from Omegachu, zoning everyone forward. And Amatsogang, I mean, they do get the kill off onto Agent X, so this should be a win for them, but Excel with a tire in the back, you can never count them out, clearly, as they're just dealing a lot of damage in this small room. Apt with the Nano as well, a little bit late, I'll tell you, but the neutral Genji Nano isn't too bad, and that should be able to clean up and stabilize for them on Dorado. Hopefully, Apt can kill off a Mercy in the sidelines. They do manage to get that kill eventually, and yeah, it looks like this will be the map going to Hellmarch 3. And now we're looking at match points, and it doesn't look like Amatsogang have any more of a semblance of control.
No, no. I mean, it was closer,
Yeah.
for sure. So there's a lot of improvement, I feel like, within Amatsogang, but ultimately, it wasn't enough, obviously. And I don't know how I really feel about that Torp pick coming up from Amatsogang. I feel like there wasn't really that as much dive from Hellmatch 3 as maybe Amatsogang was expecting. And I just feel like the Torp didn't really get a ton of value in this matchup, neither with the turret nor with his ultimate or anything like that. Maybe swapping over to a different hero, even to a Cassidy, maybe just to try to stun the wrecking ball or something like that. Maybe would have been the better choice.
Yeah, I think Amatsogang, well, I'm not gonna say just Amatsogang, because I think both of these teams could be playing significantly better compositions, okay? Because
That's true, yeah.
you've got, what, a Junkrat with a dive, with an On, a Zen on Hellmarch, and then Amatsogang are playing some wacky stuff with Torbjorn, like, come on, like, I get this is, like, a diamond tournament and all, but these are some interesting compositions. The thing is, though, Hellmarch, funnily enough, are making the Junkrat work, and
Yeah.
to be fair to Amatsogang, they are peeling a lot more for this Junkrat. They're starting to realize this assassination Junkrat is there, and they're starting to realize that they can deal with that, just by throwing a Diva and like the Ana at their face, essentially. And that basically deals with the Junkrat. But while that's happening, Hellmarch is out there in the front line winning the fight because a Diva can't engage with the Wrecking Ball. So it's this kind of situation for Hellmarch where you got to prioritize, okay, do we try and win the team fight by trading backlines, or do we kill a Junkrat and then potentially lose the team fight? It's this kind of 50-50 decision you have to make every single team fight, and it's really tricky for Amatsogang to be making those decisions. And I mean, clearly Hellmarch are playing around that pretty well.
And I feel like when it comes to point A, especially when Amatsogang was trying to attack, you had that Apt Widow and then also the Junkrat. I feel like if you're going to ignore the Widow, we saw what happens. The Widow gets 3-4 picks. You try to deal with the Widow, the Junkrat comes in and just sweeps your entire team. And I feel like Hellmarch 3 just did a really good job of trying to steal some attention as well, from the enemy team away, and just let the other DPS just clean up, or well, just not just their DPS but also their tank lines just come in with the correct, like, I guess, like, part of the team to just sweep in and catch their opponents off guard, and then just really get a lot of kills on their own. And keep in mind, this was a just point B capture against a full capture with 3 minutes. This wasn't really like an overtime finish from the Russian side. This was with a lot of time in the bank. So I feel like it was a lot closer, but not as close as it could have been, as we're coming into our next map here on Eichenwalde.
Yeah, and the one thing about Eichenwald here is that when we get onto the defense for Hellmarch 3, Apt has Doomfist in their hero pool, and we all know that Eichenwald is a an interesting Doomfist map because you have that start. Well, you have not even just one. You have multiple starting rollouts on the defense if you decide to play that Doomfist. Can be deadly, especially if you pull something unexpected out of your backside.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be one of the original Doomfist maps where everybody just thinks, okay, here's about 15 million different rollers, as you said, how to get to. I feel like positions that even Blizzard doesn't even know exist.
Yeah.
You jump down, get a single kill, the Zen or the Ana or something like that, and at that point you've basically won the team fight. So it's going to be really, really devastating. So you said we have seen the Doomfist in apps, well, hero category list, I suppose, of heroes that they can really play quite well. And then the Junkrat is probably going to be played again. I feel like there's no reason why Excel would swap off the Junkrat at this point.
Yeah, I mean the Excel Junkrat is really working out well for them. It's because I think Amatsogang they were kind of peeling for the Junkrat towards the end of that last map, and that was part of where their success came from. They were able to get that early pick on early on. But Excel isn't always being dealt with. Excel is sometimes getting 2, 3 kills coming through in these team fights, and if you play that on the defense here, which okay, they might not be. We did get debated last time, thinking they'd play Farah, and they didn't.
It's true.
But you never know, and Extreme Gamer here going to come out on the Farah themselves. They played this on, was it, they played this on one of the other maps, I think it was Dorado, and it didn't work out too well for them, so we'll see.
The Torp again as well. It hasn't worked out for them so far, but it might be a decent deterrent against, or maybe the Farah to some extent, but the Doomfist really more so than anything else. I feel like if they're actually going to stick with the Doomfist, of course. But I'm interested to see how much value the Torp can really get this time around. I don't think the Torp is really bad on defense. I think if you're running a very brawly composition, as it looks like they are going to try to do alongside with that pharmacy, then it can work. But again, I feel like last time it didn't really work out so well for them. So we'll see how much value, especially that Torp, it can pick right now.
Yeah, Nabel on a Torbjorn, I'm not sure on this. It could work out, especially with the spam coming in from the backline and the front, but that's the thing. Does that spam actually get value? And no, it doesn't, because Excel is in your backline, dominating your team. And there's nothing that can be done. The damage, as soon as you kill Excel, the damage is already done. It's already what is it? That's a 5v3 team fight or something. It's not looking good for Amatsogang at all.
We do also see the window up immediately first fight for the BAP here for Agent X. Actually, a great immortality field from him as well on both of his tanks. I do believe it kept Beatrice alive, at least for sure. And that's first point capture with 5.5 minutes on the clock. That's insane. I mean, that they really have to be careful not to let that really get out of control. And Mirka does have that Earth Shatter as well. It's not going to be all that great against the Farah, but everybody else potentially can really be knocked down quite easily here, and that could be really devastating.
Yeah, and if Excel just flanks and follows up on that Shadow with a buttload of damage, you're looking at pretty much an instant teamfight win there. If Mirka lands a Shadow, that is. Apt actually goes down here, so not able to make a play. Instead, it's going to be the barrage into the back. Extreme Gamer catches Agent. Mirka with the Earth Shatter manages to deal with the enemy nanoed Reinhardt. They are still alive, however, and swinging in freely. Manages to kill off Mirka. And, oh, that's a very interesting trap. But I don't think it matters. Amatsogang still win the team fight, so they're chilling.
Yeah. Very low, though, Omega 2 at the end of the day. Does still have his Shatter, but the Farah goes down, and that is an advantage for the Russian side, although they also need to start coming back in. But still, I mean, they do have a little bit of spawn advantage there in comparison to the Farah that just died immediately.
Oh, that is an unfortunate counterpin. Mirka traps themselves within the Molten Core. They couldn't have known, to be fair, but a bit unfortunate either way. This will be the cleanup coming through from Amatsogang. I don't think they need to invest any more ultimates. Valk 12 ultimate is all that is needed. And this is a good thing about second point Eichenwald. Brawl sucks on it on the offense because you can. There's a Farah from the high ground, there's a Tor from the high ground, anti-nades, and the enemy Reinhardt is still an issue as well.
And your enemy Reinhardt does also still have Shatter. You have that Shatter, potential Shatter bomb combo as well. You do have that Nano to keep, well, probably the Rhine alive. Or you can Nano the Farah. I mean, we've seen that as well before. You just Nano the Farah and let the Farah do a lot of the damage, especially on the targets that are slammed down. But the Beats gets invested, and okay, well, Excel just trying to deal with the Pharah, I'll do it myself. And the Tire comes in,
Oh,
does nothing.
what a tap from Extreme Gamer. Catches the tire with that, and even though Beatrice has the kill onto Nabel, it's still not looking all too good right now for Hellmarch 3, as Choo Choo and Omega Choo, the Choo tank duo, I guess, the trains, managed to get 2 kills each, and
Oh no.
okay, that's a boob coming through onto Omega Choo, and the tank line falls again. The matching tank duo, they end up dying together and getting kills together, I suppose. As Hellmarch 3, they should be pushing this payload forward. Question is, does Noragami tie to the Torp turret? They don't. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's pretty romantic, you know? They
Yeah.
live together and die together. It's like from that Reinhardt cinematic, you know?
Oh, yeah. Omega Choo almost gets moved off the map. They have to be super careful around the edges. They go for the shadow, but I think that was a bit telegraphed, as there's the retaliation coming through from Mirka. Catches the enemy Diva, but doesn't really get too much follow-up on it. Instead, they're the ones to fall, and I still think this is a stabilization from Amatsogang. They have a lot of stability with this Torbjorn. They get a long-range shot onto Excel with the Doritos as well. So, Amatsogang looking good.
I feel like a lot of ultimates invested. Not too many, but I just feel like if you invest that many ultimates, you gotta win that team fight, which they do. And they do still have a lot of ultimates, especially because Agent X has just swapped over to the Ana. So they're gonna be looking to build up that Nano and just probably send the Reinhardt in to try to deal a lot of damage. Or maybe send Nano the Junkrat. We've seen how much they can do. But recently, maybe not so much.
Oh, nice shot there from Apt, though, just barely clipping the Mercy's wings. As now Hellmarch 3 looking to approach, they can kill off the enemy Ana there. That's Apt hitting that shot. And that's just a bit of a problem there when the Mercy has to, pocket someone all the way in the back line, gets dinked up by the Cassidy. Nothing you could do.
Who did the Ana nano as well, Protator? Because they basically nanoed and died. I feel like it was late anyway, but I didn't even see who they nanoed.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think it might have been the Diva.
Potentially, yeah, but whoever they nanoed just died immediately. And now I think that's just really in danger of being staggered now. Just going down one by one by one. But they have to come to the point to the car at least at some point. But they need to find the time to actually regroup for one final fight here.
Yeah, big slam coming through there from Omega Chew. It does catch 4 of the squishies. So that should just be a stabilization from Amatsogang in an instant, right? I mean, the Shadow ends the hopes of Hellmarch 3 in getting a snowball through. They don't actually stagger the Diva. In fact, no, that's not their fault. The top turret killed them.
The top turret does not understand that you need to stagger
Bronze
Diva.
top turret.
Bronze top turret confirmed. Yeah. We do have the Deadeye coming in and the Taya. The Taya actually coming in now.
Oh, what a play! Excel! Again, that's the problem. You can't react in time. No one can shoot that tire because it's half a second it takes for it to get around the corner, and Excel again making the big play that wins a team fight for them.
And now I feel like this is the last team fight for sure. You need to regroup. You need to do something about it.
Yeah, big barrage coming through here from Extreme Gamer. Catches Excel, catches Maker. This could be a stabilization if they get back from spawn effectively, but the High Noon manages to take down Nabel. And the Valking Mercy actually gets taken down by Apt as well. What a shot coming through from the Cassidy. And this could still be turned around here for Hellmarch as the Cassidy is going absolutely insane. 3 kills for them. And it's just an Diva that has to try and touch and keep the hopes alive right now. There's the Shadow, though, that's going to take down Choo Choo and Nabel. And I think this is just a solid cap coming through from Hellmarch 3. They're just barely getting the payload progress through. And the Diva gets dinked up towards the end. They'll get this through as soon as they kill the Lucio. And there we have it. And we have a replay coming through here as well. I believe this is the brilliant tire coming through from Excel. You can see in the back line. That's what I mean. You've just got no time to react there for anyone on Amatsogang.
Yeah, I do want to give a lot of credit to Noragami as well, though. Noragami invests the beat. I don't know how much really thought went into it, other than it's probably final fight. Let me just beat because I have it. But it allows Apt to. I mean, he starts it off with getting a kill with the Deadeye on the Torb. And the beat just keeps him alive for so long that not only does he get a lot of individual kills, puts in a lot of damage, but it's so much that he actually finds another Deadeye kill by the end. So within the course of a single fight, he farms up like 1.5 Deadeyes basically. And that's a lot of damage coming in. I almost feel like that Choo Choo almost managed to hold on there, especially with the nano boost. But ultimately, it doesn't really work out because while they are taking, well, they can sustain a lot of damage, they can deal a lot of damage. It's essentially 1, 2, 3 v6 maybe. Oh, we actually see the Reinhardt just saying hello on the camera there. That's really nice. Hello, Reinhardt. Nice to see you. But yeah, it was just overwhelming at the end from the Russian side of things.
Yeah, and now it's gonna be basically. Oh, okay. Never mind. Interrupt me. Why don't you excel as Illico to Nabel? But as I was gonna say, this map is basically the one that the Netherlands have to win, right? Amatsogang, they need this map, and if they get held at anywhere before 0.3, it's just tragic because they lose the series at that point, right? So let's hope they can get something done here on the offense. They do have the Pharah Soldier, so a lot of spam damage into this Brawl composition, but not if Extreme Game is being forced away by the Ashe like that. Apt hitting some good shots.
A decent position though from the Pharah, just behind them, just trying to set up a nice crossfire. That's what allows the soldier to get a pick off on the Rhine there, and even though he goes down, it's still going to be no main tank for the Russian side of things. And now you have no main tank against a nano main tank.
Yeah, this is just a very angry, boosted German man coming out your face. I mean, I don't know if you're able to survive that if you're Helmarch 3. They are going to come back and try and stall the Lucio and the Reinhardt are both there, but the Shatter comes through, jumps past the shield of Megachu, asserting their dominance. And hey, I mean, I said they didn't need to get held before 0.3, and they haven't been held so far before 0.3. 5 minutes on the clock.
And even though that was really impressive, it's still slower. It's still not as much time as Helmarch 3 had. They had 5.5 minutes. Granted, it's not a lot of a lot of difference, right, when it comes to the time bank. But I just wanted to say just how good the Russian side of things actually took the map or took the point earlier on. But now it looks like it's a little bit of a steamroll, actually. Well, except for Excel, he's just doing his own thing. But everything else looks really, really good for the Dutch right now.
Yeah, Helmarch 3 though, they got that kill like from Excel, and they can tire from the high ground. This could be creative, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen this before. They are just going to flank and try and kill the Mercy. Almost catches a kill. Now on the front line, it's going to be Merca getting pressured out. The Nano Boost doesn't heal them up because of the anti. What a crucial play coming through from Protator, but still, Merca stays alive, goes for that slam, pins in, even though there's nothing to pin. Inspirational Reinhardt gameplay there, but it does actually win them the team fight, so I'll let them off.
Yeah, good fire strike as well, but I feel like really the rest of the team just really helped him out there at the end of the day. A lot of ultimates coming in from both sides. Actually, the Taya, though, finds the Ana crucially, so you can't really engage now.
Yeah, Noragami is there as well for the peel, just speeding XL around like a tracer. I mean, come on. This mobility is not something that Junkrat should have in this game. But either way, it's basically a spawn hold at this point from Helmarch 3, and they are going with the beat to try and, well, they tried to save XL, it didn't quite work. And now some aggression coming through from a Amatsogang, but the visor, it's not getting much because you're using it from low ground. You mentioned this before, but it doesn't get too much value in that situation. It's going to be the Reinhardt shield going down, however, so Extreme Gamer coming through with the kill onto Merca. They can also kill off Agent X. They are kept alive just barely with their own nade. And a Megachu doesn't really have much to swing onto. That will be Beatrice remacking, getting taken down instantly, so yeah, this payload will continue to roll forward.
But look at how many ultimates they had to invest for that. I mean, they started off with 6 ultimates, every single ultimate. Now they have 2 ultimates left. And it wasn't even that convincing of a teamfight win. It looks like it's still at least a bit ongoing with Noragami wanting to commit to this fight. And they actually lose the soldier as well. It's actually, this could be one both sides. Big shatter there, though.
Yeah, big shatter coming through from Merca, manages to catch 2 of the squishies. That's all you really need to stabilize. They are going to be pressured out a little bit by the opposing Diva, but the healing's there. A Megachu rezzed up, though, means this isn't all over. A Megachu can shatter, and there is follow-up. The Diva's here, could potentially get something off of this. So the fight's still raging on, and Nano Boost as well for Protator could be big if they land it onto the Reinhardt. And now the shatter comes through. That's going to catch Noragami over on the side. Nice fire strike and nice pin from Merca to try and deny the Reinhardt, but it's just a little bit too late. So Megachu gets the kills, does the damage. This payload continues.
almost another ultimate from the Pharah as well. The flashbang just a little bit late. It's just, you could probably freeze frame that and go like just before death, you know, just like a couple seconds before that as the Pharah comes in and dives you as a Cassidy. Good attempt though, and just a little bit of stall attempt there from the Lucio as well. But I feel like at this point, especially as your Ana dies as well, you have no healing now.
Oh! Excel in the backline kills Potato and Nabble. This is pretty big if they can get back into this, but it's only Apt and Beatrice there, I believe, as they're going to try and make a clutch play. Potato res back up, and Choo Choo gets the remake kill onto the Divas, so I don't think Apt's flank here is going to get too much done. It will pressure the Ana off. Oh, I thought they went off the map then. But no, they just stay back on the side of the map, and still, the stall is coming through. This has been going on for way too long. Hellmarch are getting a lot of time bought off of this. Nabble might even have to pop the tack visor here if they want to clean up, but Asian X going down, Mirka falls off the map, and I think this is still fine for Amatsogang. No, Beatrice in the back with the bomb. Is it going to be a touch? Yes, there will, but it's not enough, and yeah, despite the massive plays that were coming through from people like Excel and Beatrice, it's not enough.
This could have been a capture about 45 seconds earlier though, so that's a lot of time drained off the clock. A lot of ultimates coming out from both sides. Crucially, you do have that shatter. You don't. Okay, there it is.
Speak of the shatter, yeah, pretty coincidental there, but it will be Apt getting the kill onto the enemy soldier, and looks like Hellmarch want to play aggressive. They have the beat to do so, but Noragami being forced backwards. The Reinhardt just terrifyingly swinging at them. Mirka in the back, gonna try and deal some damage and pressure them out. Buy some time. They do have this power drive as well. They do have the power drive, sorry. My mistake. And now they have it, and they're going to get through the mines in the back. That zones off a lot of space. This actually allows Beatrice to go aggressive onto the enemy Cassidy. It's not enough to kill them off, but it does buy that space and allows the stabilization to come through.
And I do want to praise Apt for that Deadeye as well, when Omega 2 was shattering, because you had a lot of potential kills lined up for Omega 2 and his crew, I should say. It does rhyme as well. But then the Deadeye zones off everybody, and it allows Hellmarch 3 to kind of engage against half of your team being shattered.
Again. Excel just keeps on doing this. They even post-mortem they managed to get a kill off because of that total mayhem. Extreme Gamer is flanking in the back, but I don't think they're able to get too much done. They get Agent X again, Origami as well. What is that? Excuse me? Apt has to put an end to that farce, but it is still a 2-for-2 trade.
It's still a lost team fight though. You gotta reset. But it was nice. It was a nice individual play for sure. Yeah.
Mirka falls, so it's not awful here. Maybe they can go back into this.
Maybe, yeah.
High Noon from the very far rope. I mean, what is that? They catch Protator though, so again they put an end to things and they stop them going forward.
Yeah, that's a really good pickoff as well on the BAP. Okay, the flashbang right click, except you didn't have enough bullets to finish them off.
Yeah, exactly. And again, more follow-up coming through. Hellmarch just keep on holding, and there's 15 seconds remaining. It's a series on the line here for Amatsogang, and all they have is a bomb to make it work. The Cassidy will be back soon with a High Noon, but bomb into the back, gonna come through. That catches two. That's a backline gone. Choo Choo, the clutch play. But is it even enough as Excel and Apt come through with kills of their own? They're clutching up as well. The High Noon from Extreme Gamer just to follow up on the Earth Shatter. They missed the shot onto the Doomfist, but they do manage to get it just at the end. Mirka's mines, though, are still deadly. They're on the point, but yeah, it's not enough. And now it'll come down to a real last fight territory.
Double support ult though from Hellmarch 3. You have the beat and the nano. I mean, if you beat and then nano the ball, that's infinite stall essentially.
Yeah, Agent X here with the nano boost. Could come up big with it. Don't know who they're gonna nano. Maybe the Doomfist potentially, or even the Wrecking Ball. But the bomb into the back. Beatrice gonna get it through. That breaks the Rhine shield, and now everyone's forced into a small room, and they don't manage to touch. Hellmarch 3 come through with a pretty anticlimactic series win there, off the back of a C9. Well, 4 C9, I suppose, but yeah, they take the series 3-0.
Yeah, very convincing at the end of the day. And a lot of it comes down to just, I think, just better team coordination in general. I feel like a lot of the time when you see a lot of these plays, or these rounds, I suppose, in games and tournaments, you can take a look at and you're like, okay, this player almost like hard carried, where you have the Pharah just dominate, or a Genji, or even a Widow. I feel like we had a lot of individual moments for sure. Might it be Diva Bombs or Riptides? I mean, we've been talking about Excel a lot. Or Abt's performances on Widow or Doomfist. But just by me just saying like, or this player, or this player, or this player, I think it just really comes down to just better team coordination, better ult investment as well, where sometimes Helmut 3 would just win a team fight with like a single ultimate or maybe two, whereas the opposition, they've invested like 3-4 ults, Helmut just backed off, and they didn't even completely like lose the team fight. They did a soft reset and then came back in with one of their own ultimates and just won the team fight.
Yeah, exactly. It really is just excellent gameplay coming through, I think, there from Hellmarch 3. And, Amatsogang, it's not like they didn't put up a great fight. They were
Yeah.
really doing good on the offense there. They managed to get it to third point, so at least I wasn't wrong in saying they wouldn't get held before the third point, except they got held on it. So maybe I cursed them a little bit, but either way, we are going to get some replays of this match as well, just to throw us back and see a little bit of the stuff we saw from that. Most of these are probably Excel highlights, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to go through we're going to go through now. Okay, there we go. They're coming up. These are the final moments. Nice bomb there. You can see that from the Diva as well. That was not unfortunately not enough to finish things off, but
And it's
hey,
insane that it's not, right? Because it gets the backline. It gets both supports at the end of the day.
yeah.
Both supports have their ultimate as well, so they die with their ultimates. You would assume that either the Ana or probably the Lucio was supposed to use their ultimate, just its final fight, let's beat, we can outlive him, we can outsustain him. And then if we need it, we're just gonna nano the Wrecking Ball, or as you said, even nano the Doom, and just, I mean, you down nano the Doom, yeah, sure, for sustain, but mostly so you can just one-shot even more people. But yeah, it just didn't work out there.
All right, and
Now
we
we're
are
looking
also
at
going
an
to look
Excel
at
one, yeah.
yeah, no, so this is one of the Excel clips that we saw before. This was one. I think this was one where they were hiding in the side room. I think it was. Yeah, there. And this is what Excel was doing all game as well. This wasn't just this clip. I mean, anyone who watched the entire thing knows Excel was a menace the full game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this this emote, this lying down emote that Junkrat has in like some bushes or whatever. I think that's even a game mode, like hide and seek, Junkrat hide and seek. He was just playing it all the game, except he had his riptide and it was also killing people all the time with it. It's just
Yeah.
finding these positions behind the enemy team, or sometimes even in front of him, just like hiding behind a corner, as you said. Then they're just randomly popping out, either with a tire or sometimes even with his spam.
Yeah,
And
we're
we
gonna
can
see
see that
another
more of it
one.
again here, right?
Yeah.
So
This is okay. This is one where they got it on the bridge as well. Yeah, this is honestly, the fact that we've had two clips of this happen on Eichenwald alone should be enough. But this is all the maps as well.
yeah, yeah, this was an insane stall as well, just in general. I mean,
What was that, like
Amatsogang
a
did get it,
45
but
seconds to a minute, something like that? Like it was absolutely
yeah,
insane.
yeah, I think so.
We're also gonna see the denied Riptide. I think this is one with the fire shot. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a good shot coming through from the fire. Yeah, Extreme Gamer, probably one of the better players I think on Amatsogang as well.
yeah, just finding the Riptire. Um, it's denying the entire ultimate. That's one of the issues of
Yeah.
that.
And that's one of the only times they did it as well. The rest of the
Yeah,
time, it was mostly just the Junkrat kind of using it, getting away with it, and then even sometimes getting out alive, right? I think Dorado third was the only real time we saw uh, Excel really be dealt with. I think they just gave up on Eichenwald, I'm not going to lie, because they had to take that frontline fight, especially in a brawl.
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Well, we are. I mean, any final thoughts on that game, Shine? Because we are going to be wrapping up pretty shortly.
I think we did see a lot of improvement from Amatsogang
Yeah.
over the course of the series. I think, as you said, towards the end, maybe they just thought, okay, it's GG, go next. That classic like rank mentality, maybe to some extent. Um, but when you compare their performances, even on Eichenwalde as well, um, especially actually their defense was pretty solid as well through some points, like bits here and there. But I think their attack was pretty good. Um, it was just a lot better than the first round on Busan. And I think if they just practice as a team a little bit more, stay a little bit more together, I think there's going to be a lot of improvement from them to be seen throughout this entire tournament. And I do believe they usually finish somewhere around 10, maybe a little lower than that, something along that time. So like midfield, I would say. Although we do have a lot of new players coming in, so they might win the entire thing. I don't know at the end of the day. But I think this isn't the best Amatsogang that we'll see throughout the tournament. I think they'll really improve, and I wouldn't be surprised if we can see them go far. Hellmarch 3, though, if they can keep up that momentum and that speed and that team cohesion, they're going to be a tough opponent to deal with, no matter who's facing them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait to see more of Amatsogang and see if they actually improve as the tournament goes on, because I don't think this was the best showing they could have put up. I think against Hellmarch 3 was a pretty rough game considering the circumstances of Excel existing. So honestly, I feel like we'll see a lot more from them as time goes on. But that being said, that will be it for us today. So thank you all who came along and what? Okay, well, we'll be wrapping up here pretty shortly, so thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Are we good?